Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about plants in my collection that I'm currently struggling with, that I don't know what they want, that are just being a little sensitive, showing some signs of just unhappiness. And maybe we can figure it out together in the comments below what can help me figure out what I need for these plants. So by no means am I an expert in plants, and I go through my struggles of not knowing what they want, or going through pests, or inconsistent watering. So if you want to leave a comment down below and help the community, go ahead. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and we'll get into it. So I do want to apologize for the lighting. I think it's gonna change a lot because I film in front of a window, and just like right now I can see the sun's changing, but we're just gonna have to roll with it. Okay, thanks. Okay, so the first plant we're gonna start with is my Enjoy. And actually, now that I got her down from the shelf back there, I'm touching her leaves and I can tell she needs like a good watering. So I don't know where to start. So one, I picked this plant up a couple weeks ago at a local nursery, and I will say when I picked her up, she was already a little beat up. I didn't pick the healthiest plant, but in my mind, all of this brown crisping, you know, was just because of, because I was like, oh, well, it's crisping on the white parts because the white parts of the plant cannot do photosynthesis, whatever. So I basically was just like, it won't be that big of a deal when I bring it home. It was basically like really bad soil. The roots were already grown out and everything. So I went ahead and put her into a 4-inch pot. Actually, this might be a 5-inch pot, but she is putting out new growth. Like, she has grown a lot, and it is just showing signs like of good health at the bottom, but on top, no lie, I have lost like 10 leaves, and like they start to yellow, but I don't know if you can see, like specifically on this strand, like all these leaves are gone. So I just don't know like what's going on. I don't know if it was just like, okay, the plant was already bad when I got it. Is it something I'm doing? Is it the soil? Is it what I thought it was, that like, you know, these old parts are dying off because they're so wide and they can't do photosynthesis? So I don't know. Yeah, so I'm not too concerned about this one. Because she's putting out new growth, right? But I'm also just like, okay, I don't understand what's going on. So it's plant number one that I'm just struggling a little bit with because she's losing so many leaves and I can't pinpoint why. Okay, so my second one is gonna be a Calathea. I have 2 Calatheas. And you know, Calatheas already have a rep of just being difficult. And for the longest time, I was like, I have no idea what those people are talking about. What's wrong with them, or what are they doing? I don't have any problems with my Calathea. Well, no, that changed like a couple months after getting them. It's so weird because I feel like the first couple months they were just like angels. They treated me so well, and I treated them so well. And now that they're giving me problems, I'm just like, we gonna have a problem. So first one is my, I refer to this as Calathea Pinstripe, but I think it's also referred to as Calathea ornata. And she had spider mites twice. And I would say it was pretty bad. I probably went a good while without noticing it. And so the way I noticed it was like there was a bunch of little white dots on the back of the leaves, and because of their dark color, like it just stood out more. So I treated her twice, but the spider mites had basically already did their damage on this side of the plant. I pretty much cut off like 2 or 3 leaves that were just like really yellow, crisping up, and I know that was the spider mite damage. And then the newest leaf that was coming out at the moment, she's also I mean, she's not fully unraveled, but this is damaged as well. So yeah, I've just been struggling with her for the fact that I was dealing with spider mites. Maybe is there a bottom one? There's a bottom leaf. Like, this is how the other leaves looked. I'm sorry, I'm not good at showing, and they were really crispy. So basically the spider mites were sucking the life out of my plant. But other than that, she has never given me any problems, like whole humidity thing, yada yada. She has always been really good, but I'm happy she's still putting out new growth, and I just chopped those ugly leaves off. But yeah, that's why I've been struggling with her, because spider mites. Okay, so the next one, we'll just go into the second Calathea. Same thing, guys. Same exact thing. I've had this plant for a while. She was an angel to me, and I was still like, what are these people talking about? I have no issues. And then bam, all the issues at once. So where I think I went wrong with this one, and forgive me that I do not know her name. I always want to refer to it as a Freddy. I think it's a Zebrina. I'll make sure to link it down below, or like link the correct name. But she was a super full plant. I mean, she still is super full. I got her from Home Depot at the beginning of summer. She's constantly putting out new growth. At one point I did have to repot her because I forgot what was going on with her. I'm not sure. Oh, soil mites. Yay, soil mites. But it was really bad, to the point where anytime I like moved the plant, I just saw all of them like moving around in there. So I ended up repotting her, separating 2 or 3 of the stalks, and I gave a couple to friends. So she's still really full considering I've already separated her. But I think my problem, or where I went wrong with her, was I think once or twice I gave her tap water. And you're not supposed to, okay? Calatheas need distilled water because their leaves cannot process all the chemical buildup that is in the tap. But so this is considering that I chopped off like 4 leaves last week. So okay, she's not horrible, right? It's not like extremely bad, but it's just more annoying, I guess. And I also heard something recently that if the crisping is on the tip, then that means inconsistent watering or whatever. But that if the crisping is on the edges, that's lack of humidity. So I'm not sure. But this is one of the plants that I take into the shower. Yes, so I take her into the shower because it gets so humid in there, and I'm not very good at keeping a humidifier constantly running in my home because I felt like my plants never really needed it. So I live in Houston, and the humidity is already very high naturally, but now that the season is changing and the humidity is drastically, decreasing, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna need to get a humidifier. But what I have been doing for my plants that really need the humidity is I just take them with me into the shower, and I probably leave them in there for a couple hours so they can just get that humidity. But yeah, so she's not been like a horrible struggle, but just this crisping, it's not my favorite thing in the world. But she's still full, she's still constantly putting out new growth, so I can't be mad about that. Okay, so moving on to my 4th plant, and she is in no way damaged, or it is in no way damaged, but I have had thrips on this plant, I would say about 3 times now, and all within like a 2-week span. So this is my Alocasia Frydek, and this leaf is ginormous and big. This leaf is dying off because alocasias, that's how it goes, okay? You're gonna gain a leaf, so this is a new leaf coming out, but you're gonna lose a leaf too. And I would love to know if anybody knows like how can I maybe reduce that. Is that even possible? Because I've seen people who have like ginormous Frydeks, but they're pretty full. So I have had thrips on her twice, and I'm holding this up to the light and I can see one crawling on the back. Great. Okay, so that's what I'm struggling with this plant. Let me just put her further away. So alocasias have a tendency to attract pests in general, and I think thrips is like on the top of the list. So I do treat her constantly, and I have not had an infestation, but I constantly find like 2 or 3. So exactly what I was doing, I hold it up to the light and I look at the leaves from the back, and you can just clearly see them crawling. So I just saw one. Yay! So she's gonna go into the shower after this, and I'm gonna treat her. But that's the only reason. And honestly, the plants, I mean, like the leaves are not damaged. Like that plant looks amazing. So it's not to the point where the plant is like getting the life sucked out of it, but it's still being affected by it. So that's going into the shower. Yay! And then lastly, I'm gonna talk about a Hindu rope. So it's not so much a struggle, but I just don't know what I'm doing wrong either. So as you can see, it had this new growth point. Let me try to show you. I don't know if you can see it. Anyways, it had this new growth point. And I guess I went too long without watering it, and the growth point got super soft and like shriveled up. And now it's like hardened off again. But I got this like 2 months ago, and it hasn't put out any new growth, so I'm scared. But that's it. There's no big concern about this. I think I'm just struggling with the water routine, but hopefully I can get better at it. As of now, I'm struggling with it. But then this one that I have back here, this one's popping off new growth like crazy. And this one I bottom water every 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks. Basically when her lower leaves down here start to shrivel up is when I water her. Okay guys, so that's it for the plants that I'm currently struggling with at the moment. They're not like a tremendous struggle. Like I'm not gonna toss the plant into the woods like I have before, but just being transparent. Pests are issues that commonly happen. Certain plants attract them more than others, like alocasias and calatheas. Certain plants need more humidity. Other plants, you just don't really know what you're doing wrong, and it just takes a little bit of like trial and error, sadly, to pinpoint exactly what's going on with your plant. But without a doubt, I still enjoy these plants. And if it ever gets to the point where you feel overwhelmed with the plant, maybe it's time to pass it along. Or maybe it's time that you just chunk it. To be honest, I think that's okay, in my opinion. Okay, guys, so that's all for this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and I'll catch you in my next one.